Arne Slot's Liverpool is flying high. They're proving to be a menace, standing on the top of the league and Europe. But who is Arne Slot? Where did he come from? How good he really is? Well, that's exactly what we intend to find out. So, let's go. Consider subscribing to our channel. It's free and helps us a ton. Thanks. Before we jump into Arne Slot's Liverpool and his current management style, it stands to reason that we should know more about where our man has come from. The 46-year-old Dutch manager was once a player who spent most of his time playing football for FC Zwolle and NAC Breda. He made 462 appearances in his senior playing career of over 18 years across 3 clubs, primarily playing as an attacking midfielder. In his final years as a player for PEC Zwolle, he was already behaving like a coach, according to his teammate Bram van Pollen. He retired from playing in 2013 and became a youth coach for PEC Zwolle for a year before moving to Cambuur as an assistant coach. He became Cambuur's interim head coach on 15th October 2016 and remained the head coach through the remainder of the season alongside Sipke Hulshoff. He left Cambuur to take up the position of assistant coach to John van den Brom at the Eredivisie club AZ. During his time as the assistant coach, AZ finished 3rd and 4th in consecutive Eredivisie season in 2018 and 2019 and even reached the 2018 KNVB Cup final, losing to Feyenoord. In 2019, he took over from John van den Brom as the full-time coach of AZ and made an immediate impact, accruing 19 points in his first 8 Eredivisie games. He also helped AZ make it to a Europa League round of 32 in the same season, but the season was cancelled midway due to the pandemic. AZ finished second behind Ajax on goal difference, although no title was awarded for the season. The next season, AZ beat Napoli away in a Europa League group stage match, which Slot called, quote-unquote, a historic win for AZ standards. On 5th December 2020 though, he was sacked as the manager of AZ because he said he was in talks with Feyenoord as a possible successor to Dick Advocaat without the club management's knowledge. 10 days later, he was announced as the new coach of Feyenoord at the start of the 2021-22 season. Feyenoord is where Arne Slot truly came into his own. Under his tutelage, Feyenoord finished 3rd in the 2021-22 Eredivisie season. But the biggest achievement for them was reaching the UEFA Europa Conference League final. They knocked out Partizan, Slavia Praha and Marseille en route to the final where they lost to Mourinho's Roma. Slot was awarded the Rinus Michels Award for the Eredivisie Manager of the Year. This earned him a contract extension to stay at Feyenoord till at least 2025. The 2022-23 season saw him break the duck for Feyenoord as they won their first Eredivisie title since 2017. Despite rumours of Slot taking up a position at Tottenham Hotspurs, he committed his immediate future to Feyenoord, further extending his contract to at least mid-2026. He was awarded the Rinus Michels Award for Eredivisie Manager for the Year again in 2023, becoming the 4th coach to win the award for consecutive editions, after Guus Hiddink, Frank de Boer and Erik ten Hag. With his talks ever growing, it was getting pretty apparent that one of the bigger European clubs would come in for him sooner than later. Slot's reputation was on the up as everyone could see how good he was in developing young talent, and despite losing players every season, he kept Feyenoord competitive at the highest level while playing attractive, attacking football. After rejecting approaches from Leeds United, Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspurs, Slot had landed the Premier League job he yearned for. The 2023-24 season saw Feyenoord finish 2nd behind PSV and win the KNVB Cup. And in April 2024, Liverpool reached an agreement with Feyenoord for Slot. Slot was Anfield bound to replace one of the greatest managers in Liverpool's history, Jurgen Klopp, who had announced his departure earlier in the year. And so here we are. Arne Slot has started his life at Liverpool as if he was meant to do this all along. Slot is credited with waking up the sleeping giant of Dutch football, Feyenoord, and is expected to continue the good work for Liverpool. But the question remains, why Liverpool went for Arne Slot to begin with? Liverpool could not have chosen a more contrasting manager than Arne Slot as Jurgen Klopp's heir. Klopp on the touchline was a spectacle of emotions in itself, all high energy and untamed emotions. Slot, on the other hand, is modest and introverted, a complete 180 degrees of Jurgen Klopp, as if Liverpool wanted someone completely different from their previous manager. In fact, Liverpool were not in for Slot from the beginning, but their own former player, Xabi Alonso, the man who managed one of the greatest seasons for the Bundesliga club, Bayer Leverkusen. But Alonso committed his future to Leverkusen while rebuffing not only Liverpool but Bayern Munich too, and thus Liverpool pivoted to Arne Slot. The man who was wanted by Tottenham at one point to replace Conte was now Liverpool's most wanted. But it still doesn't answer the question, why him? Traditionally, Dutch managers and the Premier League have not been a great fit. Sure, you would get some small success story here and there, like Ronald Koeman at Southampton, Martin Jol at Tottenham, or Hughes Hiddink at Chelsea, but more often than not, we got an Erik ten Hag or Louis van Gaal at Manchester United. However, in the data-driven world of today, more goes into recruiting a manager than reputation. While Arne Slot is completely opposite of Jurgen Klopp as a personality, he is more similar to him as a football manager. A person who's credited with overhauling how Feyenoord played their football, he is a true disciple of Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. In fact, he even cited Guardiola's Barcelona and Klopp's Liverpool as quote-unquote beautiful examples of the style he likes to play. He told NOS back in 2021, "The goal is not to play offensively, but I believe this is the way to win a lot of games." Tactically, he's more of a 4-2-3-1 guy than Klopp's 4-3-3, but a lot of the philosophy remains the same. On attack, his wingers try to maintain width and take on their defenders one-on-one as much as possible. One of the reasons why Liverpool wingers have the highest dribbling numbers and progressive ball carries. The centre forward tries to create space for the number 8 who runs in the box. It could be Jota through his positioning or Nunez by occupying the opposition central defenders. In defence, the first line is always the aggressive pressing. His Feyenoord team earlier and his current Liverpool team are very adept at pressing the opposition, winning the ball as high up the pitch as possible. In that regard, his playing philosophy is very close to how Jurgen Klopp likes to operate. Marauding wingers, high fullbacks, intense pressing high up the pitch were the hallmarks of Klopp's Liverpool. What makes Slot different from Klopp is the compact nature of his teams. Slot usually employs a double pivot, an extra bit of cushion in front of his 4 defenders, or by inverting a fullback. Klopp too employed a double pivot either by inverting a fullback or his number 8 inverting in, but the difference in Slot and Klopp were the positions of the fullbacks. Klopp would usually have his fullbacks very high up the pitch, which helped immensely in attacks, especially in the seasons that Klopp won the Champions League and the Premier League. But it was also a liability for him later, because his team could be caught out on the counter if the opposition bypassed his press. The difference in press is apparent between the two managers, as when Klopp's midfield trio pressed, the fullbacks would usually go up, leaving the back too vulnerable at times and lacked a defensive support behind the wingers. Slot prefers an extra midfielder in the middle, giving extra cover in all the areas. While not the extremely aggressive high pressing of the Klopp era, Slot's Liverpool press with purpose, from a set block or when reacting to a loss of possession, when opponents progress forward slightly. Slot's Liverpool is especially compact in the middle around the halfway line, and the forwards are ready to pounce on any opportunity as soon as possession is regained. The defenders, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk, have played the most long passes, supplying Salah in wide positions from the deep, allowing some breathtaking counter-attacks. Mo Salah, like he was for Klopp, has been instrumental in carrying out Slot's vision on the pitch, and his numbers suggest the same. Thus far, Slot has fit in seamlessly into the Liverpool setup. They sit at the top of the Premier League table as well as the now reformatted Champions League table. They've only lost one game so far across all competitions. Slot's Liverpool has already done one thing that Klopp's Liverpool were just not able to do: beat Real Madrid in a Champions League game. In fact, Liverpool beat Real Madrid for the first time since 2009 under Slot. So he's already changing Liverpool for the better, right? But on a more serious note, Slot has shown that he's more than capable of delivering for Liverpool. The question remains, can he do it on a long-term basis? Guess we will find out. Thank you for watching. Like if you liked it, share if you find it worthy, and subscribe for more content like this. This is Salty Football.